Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday preview, coming to you early this week. 11:30 on Friday morning. I'm putting this one up. There's a reason for that. I'm going to be on the road in about an hour and a half's time. We're travelling up north. We're going up to Preston for the weekend. It's the good lady's sister's birthday weekend, which means lots. They're going to be up to all sorts tomorrow. I think they're off to a spa day. But it does mean that I'm in Preston with a day to myself tomorrow. So I'm going to be heading down to Haydock Park for the day. So if you're at Haydock tomorrow and you see me lurking around the paddock, come and say hi. Please do. Not many runners Haydock tomorrow, unfortunately. I think we've only got about 50 runners on the whole card, which is a little bit of a shame. There's a few small fields, but they're interesting enough. It's more interesting racing than betting racing tomorrow. Hopefully we'll learn one or two things. I think if there are any bets tomorrow, there's possibly one at Haydock. And there might be a couple at Ascot. Ascot, again, not a million runners, but again, it's interesting enough. And I think there are, as I say, I think there are a couple of races that might be worth a look at. Through the card at Ascot, the 1240, the juvenile, I'm trying to make a case for getting Goshen beat. And the case basically goes something around the lines of his all-out style of attack from the word go. Horses that do that, at some point they are going to come to an end of a winning run. They'll just run a bit flat one time and they don't get away from the field. Will it be here? I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's at least one more win in Goshen before the sort of season starts to catch up with him a little bit. I do think the Triumph Hurdle is shaping up into a really interesting race with Goshen's all-out attack style, All Mankind's all-out attack style. There's a couple of others in there. Botox Hass is another one. I think will probably end up more for the Boodles, but he's another one that's sort of all-out attack. The faster that Goshen goes tomorrow, the more chance Nordano's got of beating him, because Nordano definitely wants further than 2 mile, and he definitely acts well in heavy ground. And he's got Richard Johnson on board for the first time tomorrow. If Nordano can stick within sort of 5-6 lengths of Goshen turning in, I think he's got half a chance of wearing him down. Only half a chance. I think Goshen will probably win, but I don't think there'll be any fireworks from him tomorrow. I don't think he's going to be winning double digits tomorrow. That's how I sort of look at the. They haven't priced it up yet. If Nordano gets put in too big, I will bet him. But it's one of those sort of interesting races that I'm thinking about having a bet on rather than definitely having a bet on. Similarly, the 115 tomorrow, this amateur riders handicap chase, 3 miles in heavy ground with amateurs. I really ought not to be looking at this. But I do keep thinking Dawson City might outstay these tomorrow. He normally needs a run or two to get fit each season because he's a strange looking horse, Dawson City. He's not what you would call, to look at him, you're out and out staying chaser. He's actually quite a small little thing. He's quite barrely. He definitely needs a run or two each year to get fit. He tends to win in February. There's a race at Exeter in February he tends to come good at each year. So I think we're starting to get to the time of year he does come good. He might well be that he needs this as well tomorrow, but he is only a pound higher now than his win last year at Exeter. All he does is stay, and if they do go a little bit quicker, if they go a step quick, he'll be the one that's sort of staying on better than anything. 1 or 2 of these I've got worries about on the ground. 1 or 2 of these I've got worries about what kind of form they're in. It's a case of whether is he a ride for a £7 amateur? Not really, but if the young girl on board can just get him into a bit of a rhythm, and who knows, he might be staying on better than these at the business end. Again, it'll all be about price. I've got a price in my head. It'll all be about price, whether I bet him or not. I've no interest in the mayor's race at 150. The market's got that absolutely spot on. I think Papagana and Magica Light should be the front two. I think that's absolutely right. The 225's the interesting one here for me is Song for Someone, who will certainly get him in the ground, and to me brings a really good bit of recent form into this. That third to Mac the Man and Protectorat at Sandown is, to me, just about the best bit of recent form in this. The worry would be the step up in trip. Now, Song for Someone definitely needs further than 2 mile. He showed that at Fontwell the time before when he won over 2-1.5. All he did then was stay. Whether he wants 2 miles, 3.5 on heavy ground. I don't know. There's sort of two ways of looking at it, really, as there is with another one a bit later on the preview. You know, he is unexposed at the trip, and he might improve a bundle for it. Equally, it's not hard to see him coming there at the last with a chance and just not quite getting home. Having said that, they put him in. Firms have put him in already at about 8-1. I think that's fair enough to take the chance on. I would have I think I'd just have a small win bet at the price at 8-1 rather than having an each way bet, because I do think, as I say, you know, you've got ticks in boxes in so much as you've got the ground in his favour, and he brings good recent form into the race. But you've got the dead 8 at the minute. Maybe if the dead 8 lined up tomorrow, if it comes to race time. But whether you'll get 8-1 come race time or not tomorrow, I don't know. At this stage, I'm looking at him as a small win bet rather than an each way bet. But he is interesting in a race where you can give a few a chance to. Pick Dorhey, we don't know about them. You know, he's short enough. We'll see. It's one of those again. It's another one of the we'll see what price we are in the morning. Let's see how many runners we've got. The 3 o'clock. An old friend rocks up here, and I'm willing to give him a chance. In a race where a few of these now are starting to look towards the top end of their marks, I think. One or two of these have got jumping issues as well. A couple of them probably won't line up. They're going to go elsewhere, and I think a few of them just aren't good enough. The interesting one for me is Ascot and Haydock, who cannot have it deep enough, really. He wants proper heavy ground. And reverts to handicaps now. He's only £1 higher than when he was an easy winner at Perth last April in soft ground. He's got plenty in his favour tomorrow. He's going right-handed, which I think he's happier with. He's got soft, heavy ground, which is absolutely fine. The trip's ideal for him, and he is coming back. He's coming back off a break, off a wind up. I think it might be the time to catch him tomorrow. I think tomorrow might, the fact that he's had a break doesn't put me off. I think the fact that he's coming back off a wind up is more pertinent, because he does tend to lose his form as the season goes on a little bit. And as I say, he is sort of, now only £1 higher. There's nothing wrong with his handicap mark. I'm willing to chance him. He's a little bit all or nothing. And again, with that, he might only be a win bet rather than an each way bet. But at double figure prices, I'd be tempted to chance Ascot and Haydock, given that he's got everything else in his favour. As I say, right-handed, heavy ground, all fine. So I'd be willing to sort of chance him off a break tomorrow. The Clarence House, from a betting perspective, you can argue a case that at 13.08 Undersow's too big, because there's literally nothing between Defi Desoy and Undersow, and the heavy ground tomorrow brings the two pretty close together again, I think. So there's a case to be argued at 13-8 that he's too big. They really ought to be sort of 11-10 each or two, I think. So if you're interested in the 13-8, I would suggest that's fair enough. Over at Haydock Small Fields, a couple of interesting races. The 205 has only got 4 runners. This is the Sky Bet Supreme Trial. But 3 of these will want to push on quite early. The Banner King Rebels made all a couple of times. Snooker likes to be up there, makes all. Stolen Silver tried to make all at Cheltenham last time, ran down by Chantry House. So it all sort of looks in favour of Edwardstone, who can pull hard. He's wearing a hood, but he'll be the one that sits off them tomorrow. The question will be whether he's good enough in the ground. I think he will. I don't think it'll be a problem. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem. But when all's said and done, even money, not my sort of a price, I don't think. But I do think he'll get the race from the suit tomorrow. But I'm not having it. I'll just be happy to let him win, I think. The Peter Marsh is the race that's really sort of interest tomorrow, I think, at Haydock from a betting perspective. You've got a class act in it, Indefinitely Red, who is capable of taking this if he's on his best form, and his mark now is starting to look pretty good, 156. But there's a reason his mark's starting to look pretty good. He's not quite performing to the best of his abilities, and hasn't been doing really for a while now. So he's capable of bouncing back, and the mark's absolutely fine. Vintage Clouds will stay, but I thought that was a pretty laboured effort at Haydock last time over here. He just sort of plugged on past beaten ones again. He got badly outpaced at the top of the straight, and I don't really want to get involved at sort of 7-8 to 1. I think there are better bets. Geronimo, Sandy Thompson's is an interesting one. He will stay. And I was amazed he had the speed to win over 2.5 last time. He will. He's one that's interesting. But at the prices again, we like a double figure price here on the punt on a Saturday. So with that, I think if Red Indian turns up here, I think he's interesting. The question mark with Red Indian is the trip, because he's never won further than just shy of 2.6. But he certainly wasn't stopping at the end of 2.6 when he won a couple of years ago in heavy ground and air. He's always given the impression that he will stay. So I think that's fair enough. We haven't seen a lot of Red Indian. I think he has his issues, but the plus points for Red Indian are the ground tomorrow. He will not mind heavy ground at all. And coming back off a break, I've sort of been having a look, but go back through his form and his record after a 100-day break and bigger. He's first, second, beaten half a length in a race, a competitive race. I think it might have been at Cheltenham, and third and first. So first, second, third, first. His record off breaks. Record on heavy ground is second and first. Ben Jones takes a very, very useful 5 off tomorrow. Brings him down to a mark of 138, and I think that's absolutely fair on some of his old form. He's worth chancing. I think 16-1. You're taking the question mark will be the trip, but that price is big enough to take the chance on, in my opinion. 16-1. First time up again might be the time to catch him. I'd be willing to give him a go. And we have to mention my old friend Claude and Goldie here. He's out the handicap by £3, but stamina is definitely Claude and Goldie's long suit. Absolutely his long suit. The worry for me is the ground, I think, tomorrow. He got away with soft ground at Kelso 2.6 last time. Whether it was soft, but it wasn't what you would call Haydock heavy. Different things completely. I still think come Scottish national time he'll be interested at a whopping price, because I think he'll want a trip on good ground. I think that's going to be his thing. He's 11 years old now, but this, I think it's only going to be about his 6th start over fences. He's extremely lightly raced. He's had 7 chase starts, so this will be his 8th tomorrow, but in effect, in anger, as it were, because the first 3 of them were just getting his mark. So in anger, it'll be his sort of 5th start tomorrow over fences. So there might even be, ridiculous as it sounds, a bit more to come from Claude and Goldie for an 11-year-old, but the ground is a worry. Red Indian will be the one for me there. So there we go. I say not many bets, I don't think, tomorrow. A couple to have a dart at big prices. We'll have a go. And I say if you're at Haydock tomorrow, and you see me, come say hello. Why not? Have a good weekend, guys. I will be back on Tuesday with the Daily Punt. Thanks a lot.